and this from a guy, but what I always say, and I learned this many years ago when I first started my journey, what a woman says she wants and what she emotionally responds to are two separate things. You'll never hear a woman say she wants a dirt bag. Never. You'll never hear a woman admit, I want a dirt bag. I want a man that doesn't have a job. I want a man that beats women. I want a man that is tight. You'll never hear a woman say that.
Yeah.
But that's what they typically choose a lot of times, and then when they get older, they'll say, okay, my type changed. I don't think a woman's type changes. I have this conversation all the time with women. That's not true. That's not true. A woman's type does not change. I don't care how old she gets. She will always want to be with that guy, but she'll settle for a different type of guy. Even though that's why a lot of them go sleep with their baby daddies, even when they get married. I know women that slept with guys the day before their wedding, and even after, they're sleeping with the same guy or going messing with the same type of guy because their type doesn't change. That's why you see women in their 40s who've gotten divorced, their kids are out of the house, they'll date younger guys that are a certain type, that were their type back then. So that's my thoughts. I think that's how women view things, because it is that emotional roller coaster again.
Bro, here in Atlanta, man, everybody talks about it. It's like Cougar Central, where we see older women with younger dudes. And then also we see Shannon Sharp styles, where it's like older dudes, they with younger women. JR, why is that so common now, where we're seeing a big age discrepancy between a person in their 50s, late 50s, early 40s, dating young 20s? Why is it so common in today's time?
I think it's always been common for men.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But women, I think because women are more visual now in terms of the limelight, what we see women doing.
Yeah.
Even though I know there have always been women who've been age gap dating, for lack of a better term. And I know this goes throughout history through different cultures, women sending, proposals and things like that. But I think it's more so because of, I don't care how old a woman gets now, especially the age of social media, she wants to look young.
Yeah.
She wants to perceive herself as young, hot. She can do things to change, unlike just throwing on a wig and a face full of makeup back in the day. She can do those things. She can do things to change her appearance, or try to change her appearance and compete. It's even, you see it on the dating sites, the demands that women are making in their late 40s. I'm just using this because this is my age demographic, obviously. And late 40s, 50s, kind of making demands like a 20-year-old, and it's very, I think it's very strange.
Yeah.
But if you have a certain amount of dudes that's basically trying to get at you, because the quickest way to get attention and to boost your ego is show TNA as an older woman, which is a false sense of things but I mean, who doesn't want compliments? Who doesn't want to feel sexy? Who doesn't want to feel, especially as you get older? What woman doesn't want to feel that way? So if a woman can get that dose of feeling youthful by a younger man, I think that's an accomplishment for her.
Yeah.
Because I still got it. You know what I mean? So I think we're just seeing more of it because of this dynamic, this paradigm on social media that allows filters, for one, and for them to get all these surgeries to be able to compete, for lack of a better term. I think that's why it's more so with women than men. But I think men, it's always been going on. Yeah.
Do you think that right now, man, in 2025, that young men are kind of being hypersexualized, where now, growing up, I'm 28. We didn't have, of course, OnlyFans. Instagram didn't come until I was like a junior in high school.
Right.
So porn, all that stuff, you had to go to your computer, all of that. But now kids, they can go right to their phone, find a girl on Instagram, find her on OnlyFans, and then everything is always sexual. And then now when they got to actually talk to a woman, they're trying to get straight to it.
Yeah.
So what is going on with young men right now during this age of having sex that's right there on your phone at a young age?
I think that is because I'm a little bit older than you.
Yeah.
And we had the nasty books, as you call back then. We had the VHS tapes coming up, and I was at the transition era of VHS transitioning into DVDs, where you had the compilation tapes and stuff like that. But it's a drug. You know, I know they've done studies on it about, I think it's something along the lines of it affects your brain, like cocaine or whatever. You know, one of those hormones, serotonin or whatever, oxytocin, whatever. I don't know. What is oxytocin thing? What is that? That's a drug, right?
Yeah.
My bad. I'm sitting up there. That's not
Oxycontin,
hormone. Cut that shit out.
Hey, look, serotonin. No, you was right about
Serotonin. What's the other ones?
It's serotonin, endorphins, of course,
Yeah,
which
and
counts
there's-
as that. Dopamine.
Dopamine.
Yep.
So you get that
Dopamine.
dopamine. I said some oxytocin.
Yeah, nah, it's good. Look, I already got the
but
time
yeah.
for it.
So yeah, you get that hit, and the fact of the matter is, like you said, you can cut on the Hub or XVids or any of these sites, whatever,
Yeah.
and you can in your mind be with this woman in your mind while you're, you know, pleasing yourself to that, which I think is kind of dangerous, because we are in the age of a lot of younger guys aren't going out. They're playing video games, they're watching streamers, and they're watching these girls, and they don't have that interaction face to face. And a lot of this stuff, I believe, now it could be different, is affecting your libido. Because if you're having this fun time with yourself on a constant basis, multiple times a day, I think it can lead into, when you do have to sit down with a woman, that it may affect your performance. I think there's a movie, I can't remember the name of it off top, but Michael Fassbender is in the movie, and the subject of the movie is he basically watches so much of it, even at work, he's watching it, and by the time he actually tries to get with a woman, he can't get it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because his mind is just so used to, it's programmed to this.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost mechanical, you know, where he's used to pleasing himself, I guess.
Yeah.
So obviously the sight of a woman face to face is not one of those things. And I think that goes along with a lot of the issues that younger men are having. You know, men your age and younger having erectile dysfunction. Don't approach women.
Yeah.
Which that's another thing, guys. On my comments, they were like, approaching women is so corny. I've even been told you're a simp if you approach women, or you might catch a felony for approaching women. Like dudes, that's why I'm like, I feel like it's bots a lot of times. These people that are typing this stuff, because how am I gonna get a felony by approaching a woman? You know,
They're trying to say it's like sexual assault or something.
like sexual assault by asking a woman her name, bro. like come on. Now there are some creeps out there.
Yeah.
And you guys need to stop it who are harassing a woman. If a woman doesn't want to talk to you, that's cool. But like, to approach a woman, compliment her, go that way. How am I gonna catch a felony? So it's just ridiculous. Dudes will do anything to make up an excuse to not do the work.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that includes, like you say, they'd rather whack off than try to go talk to a woman. I mean, there's women out here, and obviously you can go out there, pay for something, and then go about your business. You know what I mean? But I think there's a generation right now of guys who just don't want to talk to women. And I may be contributing to that because of the things that I put out. I don't tell you not to talk to women. I tell you to approach women. I'm one of those dudes who will always say you should approach women, but it's getting weird, man. That access to it, I think it does do something to your mind. You know what I mean? Of consuming it, that much, that often.
Bro, JR, you were right, man, because like this current time is so weird because I'll go on social media and sometimes in real life and see how dudes just talk. And then I see, oh, he watching Red Pill content or he's watching this. But then this the same person who never got girls before.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, you've never known like what it does or what it takes to actually talk effectively to a woman.
Right.
How do you feel about Red Pill content? And do you feel like it's somewhat, I don't even want to say it, but it's kind of like contaminating people's minds somewhat. How do you feel about that concept of the Red Pill universe right now?
Man, I look at it like this, man. When I first got on YouTube, I would call myself, because when I first got on YouTube, I just got divorced.
Yeah.
Right. So I was married for about 10 years.
Wow.
So I really didn't know how to, like, I was cool in high school, I wouldn't say I was a ladies' man, but I kind of knew how to talk to women. But I had been married so long, when you got back out in these streets,
You lost your game a little bit.
You don't know what you're doing and how much attention You know, what is too
Yeah.
much attention? Am I doing too much? Am I calling? Am I texting too much? So I had to learn this stuff the hard way. So when it came to what was your question again, bro?
Nah, you good. You
Yeah.
was cooking. Red pill content. Do you
Yeah,
feel
red
like
pill
that's-
content.
yep.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I
That's
got on
what the
YouTube and I called myself Red Pill when I first got on there,
Mhm.
which you know, I still regret. But I think that was one of those encompassing words that kind of get you out there and let people know what side you're on, right? And the more I learn, there's more cult like.
crazy.
And I think, you know, Kevin, rest in peace, he tried to distance himself as much as possible from these guys because these guys are weirdos when they, you know, it is bottom line woman hating.
Yeah, it's that
Instead of
simple.
teaching women how to deal with women or, you know, in a positive way that is more about yourself than the woman.
Right.
One thing I like about, I don't know if you're familiar with Corey Wayne.
Mm.
Corey Wayne is he's a dating coach.
Okay.
He's been on YouTube for a while, so he's like one of the first successful dating coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things he preaches is self-agency. So no matter what happens in the situation, it's
You
your
still
fault.
yourself. Wow. I
It's
see.
your fault. So if
Yeah.
a woman's doing this or whatever, it's your fault. And a lot of guys don't like that. The fact that it's you at the end of the day. If a woman's toxic and you deal with it, it's your fault, so on and so forth. If you do this, if you're turning a woman off, it's your fault. The key is to understand a woman and attraction, how things work, what you're doing, masculinity, how to be centered, how to not be emotional
Wow.
as a man, be in control of your emotions, your finances, be in control of your appetite, and be in control of your sexual desires. You know, is one of those things that he didn't say that. That's one of the things that I came to the knowledge of. So this red pill has became what I call the He-Man woman haters. That's what that's what I came up with. A lot of these guys, or red pill warriors, as I like to call them. Red pill warriors are He-Man woman haters. So they still put me under this umbrella, but I'm like, I'm not like these guys. And I think it's become to the point where men shouldn't seek self-improvement. Instead of self-improvement, let's just bash these hoes. You know what I'm saying? Bashing these hoes will make me feel better. Because anybody, even women get off on seeing other women get bashed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's all in the comments. Even on Kevin's videos, my videos, women get off because people like to feel that they're better than other people.
Wow.
So caste systems and all these things still exist. You know, as long as I feel like I'm better than you, I can suck. You know, hence why you have certain women get with dirt bags and they don't have to improve themselves because I know he needs a place to stay. I don't need to work out. I don't need to do anything. I can show up like this because he's a dirt bag. I'm better than him. So I feel like these red pill guys, they have fallen into that. I'm better than these hoes. See, these hoes are the problem. I'm not the problem. And I could be jobless. I could be 100 pounds overweight. I could have nothing going on, never talk to. I was surprised. I think I said this before. A lot of these guys have never, and there's been studies on this that came out recently. A lot of these guys have never talked to a woman. A lot of these guys have never kissed a woman, never been on a date with a woman, have never even had sex with a woman. You know what I mean? And I was shocked. I didn't know that till I got on YouTube, that it was that many women, that many men who haven't had an intimate conversation, don't even know what it's like being touched by a woman. You know what I mean? So this red pill stuff, I think is going too far. And you do have a lot of these guys, and I'm not going to say any names, who, especially within the black community, who have kind of like co-opted the talking points that they watch other people say and don't have any, because I can tell by listening to you if you have experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can tell off top how the words roll off your tongue. Pause. If you talk to women or if you've been with women like that.
Nah, facts.
You know, one guy in particular, you can tell that he was never raised around black people, but he talks like he knows what's going on, and he's still popular. And I'm just like, but he's popular, and I'm not, no offense,
no,
but he's popular to dweebs.
Yeah.
You know, and it's no offense, it's just what I noticed. But I'm just like, you know, everybody has their own audience. So you can take what I could be called a dweeb. You can take what I say as, you know, I could be lying, because a lot of the stories I tell, my experiences, they're like, he's lying.
Wow.
You know, I've had those comments like, that never happened. He's lying, you know, such and such. So I feel like guys need to take what they can from a situation, implement it, or what they're hearing, implement some things and see what works for you. You know,
Yeah.
instead of just saying like all these women are dusty dirt bags that are 304s and all this stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's my feeling.
Yeah.
On Red Pill, it's a cult.
Nah.
It's a cult of that's predominantly incels.